Hello, my name is Rohan Agarwal and this is my app, HeatShield. HeatShield maps how climate stress and social inequality correlate across California. It's built for researchers, planners, and policymakers who need to identify which communities are most at risk from heat, air pollution, and wildfire smoke. Now, I built HeatShield using Python, using Pandas, GeoPandas, and Matplotlib inside a Jupyter notebook. All code is here on GitHub, and we can go in and you can see some of the libraries I have imported. This is where I did some configurations. And then here I'm getting into the functionality where I got data from AQS, AirNow, NOAA, and the US Census, and then I mapped it to a 3 kilometer by 3 kilometer grid that covers all of California. So these are my data from 6/1/2024 through Halloween of 2024. For each grid cell, I combined daily temperature, particulate matter 2.5, and wildfire smoke data with census information such as income, poverty, and elderly population. Each variable is then standardized into a z-score and combined into two indices, SVI, the Social Vulnerability Index, and EEI, or the Environmental Exposure Index. These are then combined on the map to highlight the most vulnerable areas. So let's actually go into this program and see what it does. So I'm going to run the very last cell in my notebook right here. And it's going to take about 17 seconds to crunch. What it's going to do is it's going to generate two different maps, right? The first map is the double burden map, which shows you the overlay of heat and particulate matter with high exposure areas. So over here, you can see these are high exposure areas, and then the red, over here are the double burden sections. And then this is a bivariate map where you can see color-coded different levels of SVI cross EEI, and you can see which areas are more vulnerable in this way as well. Now, these were my results for the most vulnerable communities in my home state. You can see many of them are centered around the Central Valley. These are truly the areas where policymakers need to focus. Therefore, HeatShield turns complex environmental data into insights that policymakers can act on. It's about making equity visible and helping protect the people most at risk. Thank you.